Imagine that night, tensions high, a nation torn apart, a plot here in Baltimore City to assassinate a newly elected president on his way to inauguration and to plunge the country into chaos. Abraham Lincoln disembarked at this train station and under pre-dawn skies made his way unscathed and on to greatness. In the days ahead, we may face a crisis of similar proportion, an outlaw president clinging to power and defying the will of the people. For 4 years, many have said there will come a moment. Well, this is the moment, because this ballot is like none ever cast. Now, I'm a lifelong Republican, and I'm still a Republican. But this ballot is how we restore the soul of our nation, electing a good man, Joe Biden, and a trailblazer, Kamala Harris, and ensure an orderly transfer of power. Or plunge our country into chaos. America or Trump? I choose America.
The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
That was former RNC Chair Michael Steele endorsing Democrat Joe Biden for president. And the senior advisor to the Lincoln Project joins us now. Michael Steele, great to always have you on the show. But on this day, with that endorsement, tell us a little bit about your decision. It doesn't seem like it was a very tough one.
Well, you know, actually, Mika, thank you very much for having me on this morning. And thanks for showing the ad to both you and Joe for doing that. It actually was a tough decision because, you know, at the core, there are a lot of fundamental things. You know, you've heard Joe talk about, you know, that small C conservatism that has grounded both of us, for example, in our political life and how we've tried to lead when we've been given that opportunity to lead. So it was a very hard decision. You just don't wake up and go, oh, okay, I'll just do this. But what struck me was something that occurred, and actually it was just kind of a moment of paying it forward. When I ran for the U.S. Senate in 2006, 4 or 5 Democrats here in my county, Prince George's County, Maryland, stood up. They were, you know, currently elected government officials, you know, county council, Democrats stood up and endorsed me for the United States Senate. And I remember speaking with one of them who was fundamentally opposed to me on the life issue. She's very, very strong pro-choice activist. But what brought her around to finally saying yes was it wasn't about leadership. It wasn't, about politics. It was about leadership. It wasn't about policy. It was about leadership. And she placed that trust in me. She took the political risk in the moment because she saw something bigger than her particular interest in an issue. She saw something more important for the county and for the state of Maryland. And so as I reflected on that, I remembered what Dr. King said, that, you know, you'll come to these moments where, you know, life begins to end if you don't step into those things that matter, if you don't take hold of those things that matter, if you don't, you know, trust those things that matter. And this matters. My country matters to me. And so for that reason, I said, look, I'm looking at these two men. I've known them both, had a chance to spend time working with Trump in the past. But this isn't leadership. This is a failed moment. And the country needs to do better than this, because the country can do better than this. And, you know, for all of my policy differences with Joe Biden, I told him, I said, look, I look forward to beating you up on some of this stuff you may want to put out there. Trust me. But I want to have that fight. I want to have that fight over, you know, healthcare and the environment and things like that. I don't want to have a fight over being an American. The President of the United States standing on a platform in front of fellow Americans talking about arresting and throwing in prison his political opponents. The President of the United States telling the American people that, you know, the sickness that they're going through, the deaths that they have experienced, you know, it is what it is. That's not who we are. And so for me, this election, and you guys know I've been on the air and I've said this time and time again, this election is about us as Americans. This election is about us. The person we put in that office, in the Oval Office, behind that resolute desk, is an extension of us. They reflect the good, the bad, the ups and downs of us. And at the end of the day, we come to rely on them to do the right thing, And so, that moved me to this moment. Joe Biden is the guy right now for me, along with a lot of other Republicans who are saying the same thing, that can make this moment matter, make America matter more than it has so far.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.